New technologies are having effects on the world.
This is a crazy idea that you're going to give your life to some sort of augmented or virtual reality.
Unsustainable virtual world that collapses society.
You're young, you're going to make mistakes, and that's to be expected.
Let's talk about the metaverse, because I'm really fascinated by this decision of Facebook to change the name of Facebook to Meta and to the metaverse, which I think people are just they're gonna realize that this is a crazy idea that you're gonna give your life to some sort of augmented or virtual reality world that's created by a guy who's involved in this company whose algorithms are sowing the seeds of distrust and hate. But now we let him take over what you see and feel, because you're going to have a new company, and this new company is going to be virtually reality based, where he's literally he reenacted a scene from Black Mirror.
Yeah, well,
which is unironically.
I know, and you know what makes me a little sad? I think that it's going to happen.
You think it's going to happen?
Yeah, I think that you and I are of a different generation, dude. I think there are a lot of kids who are growing up in Fortnite world and spend a lot, and I think the pandemic really accelerated this. There are a lot of people who lived online for the entire pandemic, and so for people like me and for people like my parents, not seeing other humans for a long time was actually quite painful and terrible. Like, we actually did want to get out and be with the community and see friends and do that sort of stuff. What if you spend your entire life, from the time you're a little kid, interacting with screens? What if those screens are getting increasingly sophisticated so that they are interacting with you in ways that humans would? What if you get to be whatever, like, we're a society, we were just talking about this, where you get to be whatever you want to be? What if there's a world where you actually can be and everybody sees you the way you want to be seen? Would you rather live there where you're like rich and good looking and everybody likes you? Or would you rather live in the real world where you're disconnected from all of that and you end up with like Ready Player One world? I think
it's going to happen. It's as long as it can become indistinguishable from reality, which it will be able to be. It's going to take time, whether it's 5 years or 10 years. If you go back and look at Pong, which was the first game that I ever saw when I was a child. It's ridiculous. It's like a white ball that bounces across, and you have a straight line.
Two paddles, yep.
That's a paddle. And it's the dumbest game that you could never convince a child to play today. They'd be like, get out of here with that stupid game. I can go play Halo, right? But back then, when I was a child, that was a big deal. If you go in the future from now, what they have available now with these insane video graphics, the Unreal Engine, and then move yourself 20 years in the future, it's going to be indistinguishable.
They have asymmetric marketing power. They're going to put billions of dollars into funding this thing.
What are they doing? Because that commercial where the tiger's talking to the buffalo and then all the kids are dancing.
I mean, I don't know what's happening in that example, but it's a race to control the whole experience. I mean, the reason that Facebook is doing the metaverse.
There's something weird that is happening when we are canceling things that are good and propping things up that are bad. And what I mean by this is, of course, amidst all of this back-forth exchange with Cardi B, a lot of really important things got dropped about this conversation, about what it means for women when somebody like Cardi B is named Women of the Year, what it means for women when we're being told that less is more. It's not less is less. I say all the time that it's really hard being a girl. I get messages all the time from mothers who say to me, I don't know what to do with this society. You've got 13-year-olds that are injecting their lips and thinking that they need to alter their bodies to be accepted. And it wasn't like this such a short time ago. A short time ago, Dr. Seuss was loved, and we didn't consider Dr. Seuss books to be racist. A short time ago, a performance like the one that landed on the Grammys with Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion would have been roundly condemned by everybody. And the people that are getting lost at this time are young women who don't know what to do. When I was a kid, I was allowed to have braces when I was 13. We didn't have social media. I'm totally dating myself here, but we didn't have Twitter or Facebook, and so we were not constantly being bombarded with images of women with their breasts out and always looking for attention on the internet, and things have drastically changed. And so I think it's incumbent upon women who care about young women, to speak up and to speak out against this, and to make sure that we are being leaders in this society. One person that I have always adored is Condoleezza Rice. I think she is a wonderful example of what it means to be successful, what it means to be powerful, and we don't see people like her being propped up and being celebrated. So in order to make sure that I am a part of the change that I want to see be impacted in society, I did want to give 3 pieces of advice to young women who are struggling with this new culture. The first piece of advice would be to remind young women that thoughts become things. This is why you think it means nothing when you put on a dirty song on your iPad or on your phone and you say, okay, well, it's just music. It's not just music, obviously. What you put in your ear informs your thoughts. It informs your ideas about what you think the world should look like and what freedom is, right? It is not freedom to wear less clothes. In fact, I would, in many ways would say that that's a form of slavery. If the only time you feel like you can be heard and the only time you feel like you can be seen is when you are stripping down, you are basically selling your dignity and your self-respect for a little bit of attention. And in my opinion, that's not a very good exchange. The second piece of advice I'd like to give you all is that morality is hard, but it's more rewarding. And I say this as someone who I always say took the most liberal route to conservatism of any person ever. So you're young, you're going to make mistakes, and that's to be expected. But I also think that young girls need to know that pick morality. It's hard in school when you're feeling all of the peer pressure, and especially when you have people on Instagram that are telling you that it's normal at 15, 16 to be getting Botox and lip injections. But if you choose morality at the end, you will be rewarded for that. I can guarantee you that.